Hello everybody, it's Chris, your YouTube daddy here. Well, we're outside Slots of Fun and I've had a word with Ginger and he's going to explain to everybody who's watching this how machines work. Now that's going to be a treat for us, isn't it? I might actually learn something myself. So what we'll do, we'll go in and see Ginger and I've asked him to open the machine up and explain to us what the parts do. So he's going to open up the Simpsons machine, like one we've got in my arcade, yeah, and he's going to explain to how things work. So here's the inside of the machine, and here's the man himself, the Ginger Ninja, the Blackpool got gift to the female orgasm for you women out there, yeah, and the Blackpool mechanical genius. So what we're going to do, Gin, is you're going to explain. I'm going to point parts out, yeah, and you're going to explain to people what they are, yeah. So, well, to start with, I can see we've got a part missing there.
We do, that was right. So, this normally joins to your coin mech, which normally sits in this bracket. This device obviously takes coins, rejects coins. This is what credits your machine. This machine at its present moment in time is missing the coin mech and the main board and the power supply. Simple reason, it did kind of had a bit of a really serious malfunction where it blew the board. So at the moment this machine's in disrepair.
But this is work in progress.
This is work in progress.
So
yet again.
Explain to the people, let's talk about the coin mech first, yeah. Explain to the people, when you put the coin in, how does the mech know where the money's going to go to?
Right, so the coin mech is designed to route the coins depending on the routing plug. Most coin mechs can either be self-routed or be fitted with a routing plug. In this case, this machine does have a routing plug, which is actually physically out at the moment. It does sit inside the coin mech there. In fact, 1 second, I'll go and get a coin mech.
So while he's getting the coin mech, what basically the routing plug does is when you put the coin into the mechanism, it tells the coin where to go. Because obviously you've got the hopper directly below it. Now in the hopper, you'll have pound coins and you'll have 10p's. Now when you put the coin into the coin mech, it needs to know where to go. So what it does, if it comes down here, it needs to tell it, if you look at this, which of these slots it needs to come out of. So does it need to go to the pound coin hopper? Does it need to go to the 10p hopper? Or is the hopper full and does it need to go straight into the bottom? That's when you hear people say it's gone into the bottom. So here we go. So that's what the hopper looks like.
That's your hopper. That's your sorter override. So when the machine does become full, the machine tells the coin mech that it's full and it diverts the coins from coming into this exit into a different exit, which you can see on the top of the hopper. There's different exits for different coins. So it all gets plugged in, as so.
And then that fits in
and
there.
And that just fits in that bracket there.
So that is basically your coin hopper. Now directly below the coin hopper, the coin mech, is your hopper. You like to explain the hopper?
Right, the hopper runs, again, from a different breakout board. It does obviously know when to pay the coins. It's got a sensor to obviously count coins on the way out. It's just your normal general hopper rate. It's just,
to put it in English, into layman's terms, yeah, when you put money in, it puts it into the hopper, yeah. When the hopper's full, it sticks the money down the bottom. If you win, say, a fiver out of the machine, the hopper will send that fiver out to the winning slot down there. Then the next £5 that goes into the machine will go directly into the hopper, which will fill it back up. And then once it's full, it'll then divert to the bottom. Is that summarised it pretty good?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll turn it into English here.
Yeah.
Now here, that's where the motherboard normally goes, and that's obviously missing at the moment.
That's what's
missing.
Yeah.
And do you want to?
So we do have certain slave boards. This is Maygate Epoch. So the main board does control certain aspects of these slave boards. Now, if you look very closely, you'll see ribbon cables all the way through the machine on each slave board, even on this back one here, right? So the main board will drive all these slave boards, but on this particular type of machine, if one slave board goes down, the full machine will not work because it works in a series circuit, not a parallel
But
circuit.
these boards are generic, aren't they? Where you can swap them between machines as long as you swap the gaming chip.
Yeah, they are. You're very much correct there. But these boards for these machines are so small, and some of the components are so small that they do explode, do become really hot.
Oh, we've got some burnt out
and we have a
connections
burnt
there.
out cable there.
That is quite
This
common,
is-
to be fair, on older machines.
Yeah, I've actually recently just had a burnout on the Blue Moon where I had no lamps, and on the power cable from the power supply unit to the main board, the loom from the power supply, both sides of the power of the loom were charred, so that was power in, and that was the lamps. So we changed the loom. We've got lamps on, the machine's fine. We've created a new loom, which I can show you the loom's been created for another machine. We borrowed it, in essence, we borrowed it from another machine just to test the machine, which I was right in that sense. But yeah.
Okay, so we understand that. Do you want to explain that percentage key that's plugged in there?
Right, the percentage key determines the actual percentage of the machine and what it pays out now. Because people are very much in belief that for every £100 that goes in the machine, it's got to pay £78 out. You're very much wrong. The percentage key, this one was set at 78%. I've not changed it. That until I change that key, or if I was to change that key, for the lifespan of the machine, that's what it would run at, 78%. So in all fruit machines, there's cash in and cash out meters, guys, right? So on these meters, they go up in 10p units, and when you determine what the machine's made, and this is how a percentage check is done, you would work out in 10p units how much it's made and how much it's paid out. And if that key is at 78% and then meters were at 0 and then they moved over a year's period, you would see from the profit that was made from it would tally with the percentage of the machine. It's not based on every so much going in. Machines have spikes, they're like a heart rate monitor. They'll have spikes where they'll go past 78% and go straight up. And then there's sometimes where they'll just dip down and they'll stay at 78 because they can't go below 78 because of that fixed key. Now,
So this, in a nutshell, guys, you know when people say, "Oh, the machine's due to go," that's rubbish.
the machine is, it's dependent on where it is in its cycle, who's played it last, if it's paid the fortune out, if it's took a fortune. Sometimes you've got to see the random ability of it all. If the luck is you walking on that machine at that one point and winning, but you could also walk on another machine randomly and lose.
No, it's absolutely random. It's absolutely
That's random, but the machine is actually compensated. It has to still pay a percentage, but for you to win, that's the random bit. Not being no
Basically, viewers, it's a rolling total over the duration of the lifetime of the machine, yeah? So if you put £100 in, you're not necessarily going to get £78 down. You could get £128 down, or you can get £20 down. But over the duration of the lifespan of the machine, it'll work out at 78%. So don't think that just because you put £100 in, you're going to guarantee getting £78 out. It doesn't work like that. What the machines have, and especially the new machines, is what they call random number generators.
Which is your £500 jackpots, which is the class of B3. Now
And-
B3s are completely different. They run at a percentage of 92%. Some run a minimum of 88%. But the range for them on the Equinoxes, Prismatics, Reflex Cabs, anything like that, any digital machine, the random games, they're set between 88 and 92%. Now, they're not guaranteed. You could put £10,000 through one, but all the small wins that you do get still go towards its percentage. Now, I've heard people say, "Oh, I put £500 out and not got a feature." That's the way it is.
So
That's
have
it,
a
it's
random.
it's random.
It's
You can't
random.
ever- can't
You
ever
could
predict
split.
it.
You can press that button a split second later, and it'll give you a win. Right? Do you want to explain what this is?
That.
I know exactly what it is, but do you want to explain what it
Well,
is?
this is
Because
a-
that is the same as that. However, that is one that's manual.
Right, so this is a variable percentage key. This can be changed, whereas that's fixed, that can never be changed from 78%. Now, you've got 4 switches, 1, 2, 3, 4, and any kind of combination from 1, 2, 3, 4 will give you a percentage. So, we'll go 1 on, 4 on. Now I know that's 80%, sorry, right? So, if I was to do that one, 1, 2 and 4 on, that'll give me a completely different percentage. This is a key that can be changed to change percentages.
But there is a legal minimum percentage, isn't there?
There's no combination to put it below 70%. This key will never ever be able to go below 70%.
So if anybody says these machines are set at a low percentage, it's not possible, is it?
If you were to try, if I had the working machine now and took the key out, it'd come up no jackpot key fitted, right? Or even percentage key. We'll say stake and prize key. So if I took the stake and prize key out, it'll come up no jackpot key or stake percentage key fitted. Now the machine then knows it's not got a key and it can't go below 70%. As soon as I put a key in it, the machine will initialise and will come on.
Yeah, and keys aren't made to go below 70%.
It's illegal.
No,
to do
I'm
so.
trying to get that point across to people, because people sometimes say, "Oh, it's rubbish percentage." There is a legal requirement, and if you don't realise that, because any arcade, mine included, yeah, the gambling commission can turn up and they can come and say, "Open that machine and have a look inside." Okay. So I'm just going to talk. Ginger's just going to do a quick job here, and I'm just going to explain. So we've talked about the percentage key. Now, explain what a stakes and prizes key is. There's not one in here, but that would normally go in that slot there, and that's a stakes and prizes key.
Yeah, right. So stakes and prize. So this machine is capable of going on 5, 10, 5, 15, and 25. It can't, and its program won't allow it to go on £8 or £10, or it can only take them keys. So certain machines can only take certain stake keys, stake and prizes keys. So, for example, this was an £35 jackpot. It's now on a £5 jackpot. It's got a £5 key in it. Now, if I was to take the key out and put a £35 key in it, it would revert back to being a £35 jackpot.
So I will turn that back into English, yeah? So the stakes and prizes keys are exactly what it said. It changes the stake. In other words, how much you put into play. Is it 10p, is it 20p, is it 30p, is it 40p? Now, when you've got a family entertainment permit and you're running category D arcade machines, you can only have 10p play, £5 payout, yep? That's the legal requirement.
I've got actually 10p, £8 and £6 tokens.
Yes?
Which is a
legal requirement.
Which is a legal requirement.
So the stakes and prizes key just determine how much it costs you to play each game and how much you can actually win on it. Right, so obviously that's the reels.
Yeah, they're the reels.
So
Box standard Mega
if we have a
reels.
look at this here, but you see that little bit there which I pointed in there, that's the little bit, yeah. It goes through a sensor here. So you see just inside there, you can see that. Plug it into the right one. You can see that sensor in there. And we've got, right, the sensor going backwards and forwards, yeah. Well, that then I've got a little magic eye on it. So it knows exactly where the reel sits.
Yeah.
So it knows when you win. So obviously, you can put anything you like on here, it doesn't matter. All it knows is this sensor, and that's determined
Where the actual reel stops.
where the reel stops, and then that determines whether you win or not.
So guys, you probably played a Bar X before now. Most people have. So on the other occasion, you might get bar falling and it won't clock up a win, right? So that means that one of the reels is out. It happens on most electrical machines where it'll spin bar in and it won't give you the win. Or XXX, it won't give you the win. When you turn the machine off and on, sometimes the reel will adjust itself and will put the correct win line back on the reels. So you could have, it should have been X bar. That's because of them sensors there, or a slip in the motor. So we have a sensor here, it's a better view here there, Chris. There you go, better view. That tab, that's
Yeah,
the tab.
that's it, perfect.
Yeah, and it comes through that sensor there,
Yep.
and that's where it stops. It's they're called stepper motors, so when you do get it, or if you do have a machine, you'll feel, when the power's on, you'll feel a pull. That's a stepper inside.
So that's how the reels work, and that's how the machine knows where the reels are. And you say it has this little thing here, and it goes through that little sensor, or as we like to call it, the magic eye. It goes through the magic eye there. So to summarise, your money goes in there. Once your money goes in, it decides where it needs to send it into the hopper. So when you win, the hopper's got money in it, so it can pay out. Once the hopper's paid out, the next money that goes in fills the hopper back up, and once the hopper's full, it goes to the bottom. So once you press your button, which is here, that's what a button looks like from the inside, yeah? Once you press your button, it tells the program to spin the reels.
I did take that out.
Yep. And in here are all the bulbs and stuff like that. And then the only thing left is the power pack. Where's the power pack?
The actual PSU is actually in the office for this machine. That's what drives your lamps. That's your lamp driver board.
So you remember the other day?
And your display.
You remember the other day when Ginge came round and replaced a driver board for the lamps on that machine of mine? That's the board that he replaced.
Well, this is a different version.
It's a different board, but it's that basic
Yeah,
principle,
it's the same.
yeah?
Yeah, it's the same
So
thing.
that bit there runs the lamps and all of this lot, these lot. So all the pretty lights, that runs all the pretty lights. So that's basically how it works like. And if you've got any questions, please don't hesitate to ask me and Ginger. Ginger will give you the technical terminology and I'll try and turn it into English. So if you like this video, hit that like button, don't forget to subscribe. And if you want any more, just hold that camera towards me, would you?
I will do.
And if you want to see any more videos about how inside the machines work and explaining how percentages work and how the general gambling concept work, please feel free just to send me a message and we'll be more than happy to do a video. It's great that. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget, if you like this video, hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. And it's goodbye from me. And
Goodbye from me, guys.
it's goodbye from him. See you later, guys. And it's goodbye. Do you want to pull the shutter down?
All in machine.
From the machine. See you later, guys.